We're back for another Diamond League. What's up, everyone? I mean, this time it's in Poland. It's a watch along, as you know. So if you're here, it's a great way for us to follow the action. The thing is already going crazy everywhere. I don't even know what's going on. We've seen ridiculous national records there just now from Nadine Vessa in the opening of the 100-meter hurdles. Keely Hutchinson just dropped a 154.70, 154.74, immediately going up as the fastest time. I mean, that's just basically outside of her PB of 154.61. So the fact that we haven't seen Keely all season is, well, she arrived immediately the favorite for the gold medal in Tokyo right now with that type of running there. I mean, a 2-second kind of victory almost on yeah, I don't even know what to say. The men's 110 meter hurdles earlier, Cordell Tinch there equaling the meet record, 13:03. I'm gonna get on all of that in a second, but it's just ridiculous stuff happening at the Poland Diamond League. I don't know if that means we're gonna get ton loads of records, 100 meters. You tell me, what are you most excited for? I see a bunch of people coming in. There's a bunch of people who came in early. Kimani asking if the race is started. It did start already. I'll break down a few if I have a couple of seconds, because the first thing up on the track will be the 400 meter for women that is coming up, and that's going to be Fire. Paulina is in it. NASA is in it. Natalia Kazmarek, I think she got married. I forgot her name now. She's in the race. It's going to be Fire there. That's coming up on the track soon. Yeah, so I'm just waiting for the world feed to actually fully kick in on my end. I think it's live, but they're not showing much right now. And but there's a bunch of other things happening. Long jump this morning. We also had pole vault. Yesterday was pole vault for women, high jump for women, shot put for women. Some good performances there. And we already had a shot put final for men. And I can get into a couple of those things. But I want to big up Clip. I want to say hi to everybody coming through, all the diehard fans. Sonia, how are you? Good to see you. Mark was in early. He's talking about welcome back, Keely, with a world lead. Yeah, that was fire there from Keely Hutchinson. I'll just put that result on the screen in the meantime so we can enjoy and see how it's good to have her back. She wasn't there for a while, and it's just amazing to have Keely back. I don't know why it's not coming up on my screen at the moment, but I'll add it to the state. Yeah, so Keely Hutchinson, their immediate world lead, fantastic. The 100 meters, Mark is saying, will be special. Probably, I have to see that. Christina said early, the 100-meter women, they don't hide from competition. 100% agreed with that. They're there. It's hard to call. Mark earlier before we got live was showcasing the 12:28 meet record there from Nadine Vessa, national record for the Dutch as well. Yeah. Ferdinand, what's up? He's saying, wow, Keely. Ivan is saying good morning. Firewood, any links? No, not for free. I don't have any right now. Fire, you got to get that on. If you're in the US, you got to watch it on FlowTrack. They have the rights to it. Yeah, for some reason the world feed hasn't kicked in properly from my end, but I don't know what's happening there. I think their feed is not working well for that. So I'm just going to switch over to the athletics lounge so I can see the 400 meters going on. But the 400 meters is going to be on track in a second. Let me get that. I'll definitely put up the lineup here. Lika Klava, Nasa, Holmes, Henrietta Jager, Williams, Amber Anning, Veal, and Paulina. So this should be a fabulous race. I'm going to take a minute just to watch this, and then I'll get back to your comments and give some updates here. Appreciate everybody coming on. As usual, if you could do me a favor and like the video. Paulina, as usual, not really pushing. I think NASA really working hard over the first 100 meters here. She's pushing really well, probably in the lead. Yeah, Jaga not looking too bad too, but I think Lika Klava also stepping right now. But Paulina running a usual cool backstretch and getting into that curve. She's a bit behind, but you know she closes like a freight train. You have to be much ahead of her. NASA is going to come off with a big lead right now. She's coming off with at least a 5 meter lead, and Paulina is coming into her running. She's chasing her now. She's going to catch her. Oh my God. And Paulina runs down NASA, who was comfortably ahead of everybody. And I think that's Henrietta Jager there. And so that's 49.18 ahead of a 49.27. That was a good run, but the way in which NASA just got run down is interesting. I always think if Paulina can find a better way to set up the first part of the race, it would be special. But it's one of those things. Yeah, she's just amazing. All in the game. What's up, man? When's the last time you've been on a live? We gotta call you. People on the channel calling you out in comment sections. Yeah, what's going on? All in the game is saying Pauline is a natural born fighter, has walked down NASA so many times this year. Yeah, I'm telling you that the setup for the women's 400 meters at the Tokyo World Championships is gonna be ridiculous. If you assume that NASA will go out, we know that for sure. And if Sydney McLaughlin, if she goes out in the same manner, it's gonna for Paulina to win, she'll have to run him down given her race strategy. It's gonna be outrageous. But I almost thought that Paulina gave up too much there. NASA looking comfortable trying to hold our form, but just not quite good enough to match up with the Olympic champion. Yeah, outrageous there. I'm not sure what's going on with flow tracks. Anybody on flow track? I don't know. I think I responded to your earlier comment on this. There's a guy who called us out on he says he wants to do a special Google chat, which I'm not quite sure about, but we can do it on the channel. He wants to talk about Noah Lyles versus Usain and some kind of I was giving him some time, but I'm not quite sure what data he has to prove us that we're wrong on this or something like that. But yeah, we'll talk about it later. You got to go through some of those earlier responses that I did with you. Anyway, morning there, Nikki. How you doing? Ferdinand, all smiles for Nadine Vessa. I thought Vessa's special. I haven't seen the race. I'm not quite sure why they have such a strong lineup and we didn't get everything on the world feed earlier. Well, actually, the world feed is not even working on my end right now. And that's cool. I get it. Okay. I guess it depends on where you're located. Yeah. All in the game. Beerback is saying blessings. Let's say names here. Vessa and Keely. Wow, outrageous! Like, where did Keely come from with that? Right? You know, I think I just texted before I got on the live. Tim there from Tim Adams there from Athletics Weekly, and he was like, "It's unbelievable run," you know, and he's like, "There's your world champion if she stays fit." You know, that's his response. I'm just now reading it. I agree because we spoke about Keely the other day, kept pulling out a number of races, and you know, and I think it was Georgia Bell, Hunter Bell was saying that Keely's in great shape, and it's just a matter of time for her before she comes out and clearly she's in great shape. You know, there's no question about the kind of shape that she's in. You know, she's like, yeah. I think they're coming back now with their track stuff. Yeah, I'm just watching that. Uh, w- I'm watching the Keeley race again just to get a sense of it. Sorry about that. Jared says, safe to say Keeley is winning worlds. Yeah, on that form, I don't think anybody's beating her. There's no, I don't think you can beat her, to be honest with you. And Geraldine is saying Pauline is not of this planet. We have to figure out which planet. Yeah, yeah. And what happened to TT Terry last night? I can't explain that. I don't know. Yeah, I actually had no feed for the CS is the championship. So I'm just like trying to get stuff on second hand. I haven't seen much of it. I'm also looking forward to this 3,000-meter takedown that Faith Kipiegan is going to try. We can talk about that too. That should be interesting. Uh, All in the Game says Tinch was very comfortable with win over Grant and Murataki, who have been raving about hit every hurdle to run his new 1292. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be interesting. For the first time, you kind of wonder if what kind of shape Grant Holloway is going into. He clearly had some injuries this year. I don't know if he will get into the championships as favorite. I like what I'm seeing from Cordell Tinch too in the last few weeks. He came out early, hitting those, running those. What was it, 1287? And I'm like, that's a bit too early. Stumbled here and there. I think earlier this week he also in that meet in where was that meet? The meet earlier this week. It's slipping my mind now. The Hungary meet in Budapest. Yeah, yeah. He was also messing up too. So much cleaner today. We'll see. Yeah, Botswana looking good too with a bunch of the athletes. They're coming on in some good ways. Ferdinand is saying. Uh, Ferdinand says Keely said on press conference that she was just ready for a while, just waited to participate. Yeah, I'm glad she's back. She runs this year really sparingly, but 154. I mean, it's ridiculous. We'll see. We'll see. Jared, who do you think is more talented, Sydney or Mondo? It's a very interesting. I don't know how to judge that. I mean, yeah, I think versatility clearly it's Sydney. She can go I think she could run flat 100-meter hurdles if she wanted to and be extremely world class. Two, four hurdles. Maybe not the one, but you never know. Yeah, so from a versatility standpoint, possibly her. All in the Game is saying, yeah, Fate going for the 3,000 world record is fascinating. And fascinated by what Chibet will run in the 15. I am, yeah, debut for Chibet there, Beatrice Chibet in the 1500 meters. I'm intrigued by what she can do already, pulling up a lot of trees this year in what was it, 2000 meters, running that 5000-meter stuff there. She's in the form of her life. I think she goes to the world championships and win 2 gold medals, Beatrice Chibet for sure. If I were Faith Kipiegan, I'm not quite sure if she wants to run both 15 and 5, but I guess she might be okay losing to Beatrice. It's happened last year as well. But that is going to be a very intriguing race it's been a while since the 3000 meet anyone really attempted to kind of try to break that record. It's been on the books for a long time. And Wang there from China, 1993. We're talking about 8 minutes 6:11. So, I was thinking about it yesterday. I was like walking from a meeting, and I was like, how is she gonna break this? What are we looking at here? Kind of split she may need, and I haven't quite figured it out fully. But I'm thinking if she can kind of hit 64, somewhere about a minute, 64 seconds, just under that, 64, 5 and above. if she goes anywhere like probably 64.6, I think she's on course to really break that. Probably would need to run like the last 200 and like, under 33 seconds. That should put her in really good form. But yeah, there's better calculations probably out there for her to do it. She'll get good pacing from Jessica Hull. That will be intriguing. So I think they're setting it up the right way. I anticipate the world record should go. I kind of like it. It's a world record that's been there for a long time. And right now it's on track. Is it? Yeah. So we'll see. Let me get back to some of your comments in the meantime. Yeah, but yeah, Botswana is coming in for a while. They're getting a lot of stuff. Steve is like, bonjour, bonjour. Who's winning the 100 today? You know my pick already. Well, maybe you gotta say your pick out there. Yeah. Steve. It's gonna be intriguing. The 100-meter lineup. It's it's special. I think they've done really well to amass a field of extremely talented athletes. It's kind of similar to the final in the last year at the Olympics. Obviously, let's see, Little Boga is not there. But when you think about the likes of Kung Fu Kenny, Akane Simbini, Kishane Thompson, Noah Lyles, there's Kristen Coleman there too. Courtney Lindsay, who's having a special season two, running 982 this year. Akeem Blake, Brommel. Yeah, it's gonna be fire. I suspect it's a statement run from these athletes. Kenny's gonna want to run really hard and win. Yeah, I don't know. I'll wait to see. Nikki says yes, 3,000. Let's go, Fate. So this 3,000 is on the track. I want to see what's going on here. The wave light green is at least on screen is suggesting that that's the world record pace. Hull is already out there ahead. I think that's Herta Klecker too. So they've assembled something really neat here. And it's not often that you see this kind of setup with some of these elite athletes, like Jessica Hull running a pace for Faith Kipyegon. That is really interesting given her stature. So they're setting this up in an interesting objectivity. What's going on here? How are you doing? Good morning to you too. Jared is saying Melissa 10-5. It could. I don't know. We'll see. The conditions look like it's good for running, and the athletes are showing up. All in the game. If Faith repeats her world championship 5K, 15 5K double in Tokyo, she'll equal Shelley record of most individual world championship gold medals by any woman. Thanks for reminding for putting those stats out there all in the game. I wasn't even thinking about that too. That would be a special thing for her. I'm not saying she can't do the double. I'm worried that I would put my money on Beatrice Chebet now winning the 5,000 meters, but we'll have to wait and see. And you never want to count out Kipyegon. It sounds like crazy talk to say that, but yeah. Let's see. I have to get a checkup in a second on how they're progressing on this 3,000, but I get to some more comments here because we always feature your comments. Fernand says Beatrice Chebet will be the only one taking the 3K world record. Interesting. Jessica Hull will be the pacemaker. Yeah, it's interesting there. All in the game. Miambo and Yapachina disappointing in the long jump, but good performance from Jasmine Moore and Hillary Capture. I did look at the long jump. I was watching it earlier. I wasn't quite sure. I didn't follow it intently. I saw a couple jumps from Yapachina and also Mihambo. Yeah. It's going to be good. Curtis Marshall here clearing 580 in men's pole vault. Pole vault here, interesting. Mondo. This is the site of, I think, when Mondo broke his 10th world record, right? Something like that. Early in this week, he went, 629. The guy is just crazy. Will he go? I guess he'll go 630 before the end of the year. I think that's it. We're getting close to the ceiling in men's pole vault, I imagine. A couple of years ago, I remember having this discussion. Can 630 happen? And I wasn't quite sure. Now it looks like it's right there. Nikki says, I think Faith is going to pass the paces. Let's see. I need to see the breakdown of the race a little bit more, to be honest with you. Holly's still there. Faith is right behind her. I'm trying to see how fast they're doing on the. Let's see if I can. Let me see if I can get the details on that. If they have that, if they have the lap time going, they they don't have it, so I can't really follow the data good enough. Actually, lap 4 was done in 104 1 minute. Yeah, that's not bad. I think they're on pace here. She just needs to run, I think 64.8, averaging that 64.8 should do it. Yeah. They're basically at like 5 minutes 25 for 2,000 meters. It could happen. Yeah. Objectively say, here's my bias take on the men's 100. If Kishane loses today, then he's not who I think he is and would have taken a step back from last year. So bold statement here, objectivity, but you always come with it. Mondo, they're clearing 580 like it's child's play. Bareback says, if Kishane runs anything below 972 world record watch. World record watch where? On no, I don't know about that. I mean, if he runs 972, yeah, I mean he's gonna do something special, but I'm not. Yeah, nah. World record, that's out there. Objectivity, Melissa will win, but I'll be shocked if she gets to 10-5. All in the game. It shows how much Faith is loved and respected that the likes of Hull and Herta Klecker love to pace her world record attempts. Yeah, especially when we saw that thing in Paris the other day where they set up that Nike project there, which never quite worked out, but it could happen at some point. I'm just impressed with Faith also as a human being. Hull is gone. Look at Faith there now pushing. She's on the green line for the world record for sure. I think she's going to break this. Unless she drops back. She's right on pace for the world record. No, but just to finish off the Faith story, I think she's just a special person. You know, coming back also from having a child, really good for the sport. You know, already greatest 1,500-meter runner we've ever seen, and I don't think that can change in our lifetime. Well, could, but not right now. Jared is saying if Kishane runs 9.5 or no faster. You guys are choking here. That's no 9.5s or no 9s. Nothing like that is running. Just calm. Yeah. All in the game. 100-meter final should be great after the semis. Vesa 12.90, 12.28. Yeah. Just the great thing about these women is that they never back down. I think it was there before. She's pushing now. I think she's behind us, slightly behind the green line now. She's not right up there. I don't know if she's gonna break it at this rate. Yeah, she's a little bit off there. I don't think she's gonna get it. Yeah, the line is ahead of her. But whatever this is gonna be super fast. If she can pick up the speed, she could go. But I think she's a bit behind on this. Can she do 806? No, I don't think so. She's behind it. She has to sprint. She needs it's about 200 at 750. She's going to be short of this world record because I don't think she can run 29 on the last 200. Yeah, she's gonna be behind us. Yeah, she's pushing, but it's not gonna happen. Oh, it's just short. Ooh, 8:07:04. Oh, that's amazing though. That's still ridiculous running. She's dead. Yeah, I think she's yeah. She had to be ahead of the green light or on pace at the start of the 400 for me of the last lap, and she was just slightly behind it. At least if I can watch this correct, if what I was seeing is correct. Yeah, yeah. But anyway, that's excellent run. Era record, Diamond League record, meet record, world lead. It's outrageous running either. But there's so many comments here. I think I may have missed one of your comments, Geraldine, there. Clip, these people don't understand what nine. Yeah, only Bolt understands. If Kishane doesn't run 10, I guess you meant 986 or better. Okay, he'll finish fourth. And Clip is saying these people don't understand what 9.5 is. I agree. Christina, if Kishane wins, then Lyles will use that to push himself into better shape in Tokyo. That is how he operates. Look, whatever we want to say about Noah Lyles, it's that he's rounding into good shape. I didn't predict him to win the 200 meters at the U.S. National Championships. I didn't even think he could have beaten Let's See Litobogo when he showed up in Monaco. I just felt he was just coming to test things out, and clearly he's in much better shape. So part of me makes me think if he's playing a bit coy, they're just kind of making sure that you show up when you feel good. And he's probably in good. He's clearly in good shape. He hasn't given us 100 meters yet that would make you feel like his execution is on point to challenge anybody. He ran that 100 meters in London, clearly outclassed by Oblique Seville. And then he ran that one round of the 100 meters in Eugene at the US Championships. So it's not much that we can gauge on here. But he's in good shape. He ran what, 19.6? 19.6 is good. I think you're leading into Tokyo. They might be happy with that. But execution is what's going to matter. Let me get back to Birak says, notice how Noah gets different grading schemes from Kishane. Yeah. Interesting. Noah going 9.6 here today. Come on, Jared. You can't. I know you're young, Jared. No 9.6. Come on. Yeah. I was watching all race of Zola, but running 3K barefoot last night. Ah, interesting. That's a name I haven't heard of in a long time. Christina says, I will also say from now that a healthy oblique is winning goal in Tokyo. Interesting. I think we had Leighton Levy on last week, and he said if oblique can get his head right on, or maybe everything right, not necessarily his head. That's my take. That he has him winning. I'm still, I'm not sure about that. As I've said with oblique, I think oblique needs to run the two greatest races of his life in a 90-minute period. If he does that, then he's on the podium for sure. And if he runs the race of his life, then I guess anything can happen. But last year at the Olympics, the year before in Budapest, there's questions that he's yet to answer. I will say, when he broke out in Tokyo, you could give him a pass. You could even give him a slight pass in Eugene. But after that, it's interesting. And if you don't get on the medal podium now, it's in you're starting to get typecast as an athlete that you don't necessarily want to be typecast as. A flying wing says the winner will run 9.8. Yeah, Nikki says second fastest 3,000. That was amazing running there by Faith. She did go for it. It's just been tough. Yeah. All in the game. Damn, just missed it. But this but destroys Chebet's 81156. Yeah, 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 yeah. In response to Fate, yeah. In response to Fate's 3000. Uh let's get back to some more Flying Wing says, since it's a big race, I don't think anyone can perform to get a time under 975. I mean, you can. I mean, it just depends on if people execute well. I'm impressed that all of these guys showed up here. It's they're not hiding from each other. Javon Harrison here trying to go over 2 meters 30. Third attempt here. Let me take a look at this. I haven't seen any of his jumps all morning. Almost, but he clips it. Yeah. Stevenson, how do you deal with the stuff kids say these days? Hey, it happens. It happens, you know? Yeah. Jared, do you think Kishane and Oblique are chokers? No, I don't think Kishane is a choker. I mean, he went on the scene last year. It was his first major championship. Stuff happens. We'll see what happens after that. Oblique, I think there's some issues there in terms of performing at the highest level. So we'll see. Yeah. Beerback says Oblique doesn't have the legs to beat Kashane. In my mind, I want to agree with that too. Yeah. Jared, thanks for the super chat. He says his team now. I appreciate the super chat. And Geraldine said all of them are afraid. Yeah. Objectivity also responding by saying can't determine if a person's a choke after one world final. Oblique, on the other hand, needs some help. Yeah, I think he needs a lot more work with some sports psychologists. I think the way Leighton was describing it was like it wasn't necessarily a mental thing. It was a buildup of something, which I find kind of interesting, as if he was like cramping up a lot. Which, if that's the case, then that requires work with the medical team. Like, why are you cramping that much up after a semifinal run? And that little stunt that happened at the Jamaica National Championships, where he's like lying on the track and having seemingly what can only be described as a mini meltdown, will not happen at the international level. When the guys say you're ready to go, if you're not feeling it, then you just got to step aside. So if it is indeed something that's brought on by a physical thing, then they have to sort that out. But, that's an interesting explanation. Beerback says Kishane can beat Oblique at his best. Oblique can't beat Kishane at his best. It's a fair point. Jared says, "Do you think Kishane not running through line is costing him?" My thing with Kishane Thompson is, I think it's his deceleration, right? So that's the part of the race he has to work on the most. Megan Tappa on screen here. I just saw Kenny Harrison, Aliyah Armstrong. This is going to be fire race here. He has to just relax. If he relaxes better, then he'll slow down slower than the rest. And if he's execute the first part of the race the way he does, he should be in the lead, and it's just a matter of relaxation. I think that's the only issue here. I can't see anything else. There might be other issues, but we'll see. Nikki says they have to get through the rounds first at the Worlds. Anything can happen. I don't think any of them will have a ridiculous fast time by the final round. Interesting point. Hope Messiah goes 12-1 today. Geraldine says the most aggressive in a race will dictate the time. All in the game, the loaded field that's still missing the likes of Jasmine Camacho Quinn, Stark, Samba Mayela rather, and a loaded event. This is the most competitive event in all of track and field. Women's 100-meter hurdles. The next event I would say now would be men's 800 meters. But in terms of where we are here, we'll see. Vesa ran her life out today. I don't know if she'll come back and run here. This is going to be outrageous running. It's a clean start here. Oh, look at Masai Russell moving. Vesa is left behind. Marshall is. I don't believe this. Is she going to break a world record? Oh, no. It's 12:19 there from Masai. That's amazing running. Look at that. My gosh. 12:19 Diamond League record from Masai Russell. I gotta see this on the replay again. I think that's Marshall there for second. Toby Amerson running 12:25, the world record holder. PB for Marshall, just ahead of Amerson. That's some outrageous running. Daniel Williams there for third, for fourth, 12:31. Akira Nugent running 12:43. Vesa going all the way down there for 12:60. I think she was having some issue there. Tapa 12:66. I have to watch this again. It's hard to keep track. Why are you showing me the track? What's going on? Oh, I think Vesa there started to hit some there. That's what happened. Yeah. Look at the run from. Yeah, once Vesa hit there, she was gone. But lovely hurdling there from Masai Russell there. Marshall running really good. Toby Amerson fighting her way into it too. Yeah, Vesa there crashing. I think she would have run really fast too. Akira Nugent, I'm not quite sure what happened there. We have to see probably lane by lane running. Megan Tapper not looking her best there either. Geraldine is like, yes, it's insane. Steve says, I think oblique issue is not mental, it's genetic. Not everyone's body can go fast twice in a short period. It's okay. For others, that body breaks down. I think I don't know. I mean, it could be, but that's something that can be worked on. All in the game says insane. Nikki says, ooh, Hamish Kerr there just going over 2:30 on his third attempt. At least they're showing that on screen here. I think I saw that on the other screen there already. Yeah, number one for Russell. Beerback says it's psychological. I used to suffer from social anxiety. I would get real bad belly pains before going outside. Civil issue starts in his head. Well, thanks for sharing that, and thanks for it takes a lot to share mental struggles. Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully he's working with a sports psychologist. I mean, he's in a good camp. He has a extremely world class coach, one of the best ever. He has to get it done. Jared said one only breaking world record at Worlds. Possible. I don't know. I think the world record will go at some point. He's most suited to break it. But the men's 800 meters is a special space right now. Special space. Even 16-year-olds dropping 142. Cooper Lockton House. I mean, where did that come from? It's just outrageous. Yeah. Come on, Jared. Stop making fun of Kenny, man. Kenny's top class in his own right. Objectivity says Kishane's form technique has regressed in the last two races for me. That's a very interesting point there. Objectivity. It didn't look particularly good in the race in the week. He had to work on motor to win. But sometimes that's okay. You want it to happen on the circuit. Today would be an interesting run. I'm looking forward to see execution wise today. He has to execute well. That would be good. if that can happen, then we'll see what we get from him. I'm not speaking of that. I'm really intrigued to see what happens over 200 meters today. It's a really good lineup. I think it's a statement run for Sharika Jackson today. What happens today will determine how I view how she walks into the World Championships. It's a good feel. Amy Hunt, fresh off her almost upsetting win there at the British Championships. A lot of upside for Amy Hunt. Won the 100 meters in the absence of Daryl Nita in the final. Almost chased down Dina Asher Smith. Possibly a bit better at the dip. She would have. Same time, just separated by thousands of a second. So it's a good feel here. Assembled. Brittany Brown, Prandini there. I think Sharika has to run something, I would say 22 flat. Sub 22 would make me feel good. Otherwise, I'm not quite sure what we'll get from her at the World Championships. Appreciate everybody on. Let me get back to some of these comments that I'm missing out on. Big PB for Tonya Marshall there, according to All in the Game. Yeah, that is a massive PB for her. Objectivity saying Russell is fantastic and looks in great shape. She is in great shape. And we have to think, Masai started off a season really well. Then she had a couple of niggles, pull back a bit, but she's back now. And the last few, she's handling that pressure like no one can, and you have to like it. I'm slightly concerned with what's going on with Akira. That is something there. Hamish Kerr going for 233, and he has first time attempt at 233. He brushed it a bit, but that's good. It's warming up there in the men's high jump. Clip says that was insane, and this validates I guess you mean the Myanmar performance as well as Tia Jones. It did, because a lot of people, we often question about what happens on the track there. Yeah. The world record is going. It's going at some point again. Karilas here trying to go at 590. Like this kid, I think his ceiling is probably. Oh, look at the amount of space he has over that. That is a clearance you'd love to see. I think Karilas can go 615. Maybe he can go 617 at some point. But you have to like where he is, 611 now. It's going to be good. Nikki agrees with objectivity. Ferdinand says, well done, Masai. Bearbat. Now I start to worry about Nugent. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about there. It's just hard in the women's 100 meters, the 100-meter hurdles. No matter how good you are, it's like anything can happen. If you're not hurdling well, you hit one, the time that you make to recover the rest of the pack, they're gone. You just can't do anything. Good of Sagai here. Hunter Bell. As I was talking to Tim Adams, I think Hunter Bell should run 800 and not run 1500 here at the World Championships. I think she will medal if she runs 800. But there's Good of Sagai here, Healy, Beatrice Chibet on her kind of big 1500-meter debut here. Let's see what we get. This is going to be fantastic. But to finish the point there, Akira, I'm not quite sure. She's a 12-2 athlete. Now I feel like if you don't go to the championships with the capability of running sub 12-2, probably you won't win. But anybody can win. It's just too competitive. Yeah. Objective, this says Nugent has some work to do. In the beginning of the year, I thought she looked a bit too heavy, and even now she may need to trim down. Yeah. And I don't want to be too harsh on Akira or anybody because it's just hard to like this race. I couldn't evaluate well because it's hard to evaluate that when everybody's going so fast. We'll probably have to look at it again and see. But she's Yeah, interesting position for her. I wouldn't be surprised if she finds her way in a medal podium in Tokyo, but because you can, it's just execution on the day, and that's the biggest thing here. I'll get back to some more comments here while that's 15. Jared is asking who do you have winning the 15? It's very interesting. I mean, I want to see what Gudaf Sagai can do. She's out there pushing right now. Uh there's Berkey Hirlam too. Chibet there. The Chibet thing is interesting. I would like for her to push because I don't know if she'll out sprint the rest. But Gudaf has been running some interesting races this year that I haven't. It's not quite sure. Last year for Gudaf wasn't the kind of season he anticipated from her caliber. And they haven't fully explained it. I think she tried. They explained it as if she didn't have a good season last year. But Chibet is a little bit behind her, but she's stepping up in this race. I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't know if that's the truth. Geraldine Kenny has to get Noah out of his head. He needs to beat Noah. Noah is harming him. Interesting. Bareback Kishane almost fell out of the blocks and had to regain composure. Jared says Nikki Goodoff and Chebet top three. We'll see. I don't know what Nikki has in her legs with this kind of a quality. It's a big field right now. Let me watch some of it. Sagai in the lead right now still. Chebet is right there. There's Hailu, Berkey, Halem too. It's Hunter Bell falling back a bit right now. They went 159.87 for 800 meters. That's ridiculous. Good Sagai is moving too fast for my liking. She's pushing. I don't know if she can keep up with this pace right now. This is outrageous pace here from Good. Look at our face right now is grimacing. Sometimes she does grimace, but that looks like she's pushing it too far. She has this is like a 40-meter lead or a 30-meter lead on the rest of the pack. How in the world is she going to keep this up? So Bell to go and Sagai is like way ahead of them. What is she doing? At this pace, she's gonna run sub 350. Oh, she's gonna win this. She's gonna hold on to this good of Sagai. This looks like she's gonna run at least. This could be 349, 350. It has to be 349. This is outrageous running from Good of Sagai. She's on pace for this. She's kind of slowing down a bit now, but because the lights looks like she's ahead of her. But she's gonna run 350 at least, 349. Woo! 350.62. That is outrageous running there from Good of Sagai. I apologize, Goodoff. I didn't think she could have held on to that kind of pace that long. That's outrageous running. Outrageous running. Look at that. Let me get back to some comments right here. Ferdinand Corrales cleared 590. That's good. All in the game. Want to see Corrales push Mondo for as long as possible in a competition. That is an interesting point. We've been talking about it. That's why I've been saying that if we can get a few more guys getting to the 6-meter mark. So if you go into a championship and you get Curtis Marshall jumping 6 meters if he can, or Abina, and you hit that with Corrales and Mondo, it gets exciting. It maybe forces Mondo to come a bit earlier, put a little bit more pressure. Those guys aren't in his league in terms of the height clearance, but you could lose if the competition starts to feel like, oh, these guys are in my league now. Or at least not in my league, but they're in the 6-meter range. I don't think it would do anything, but it would just make the sport better. I mean, and the 6 meter mark, as we know, is just outrageous kind of jumping. It's elite status. We don't often get athletes doing that, but I would love it. We can dream, right? That's good running from Good of Sagai. She's back. 350. That is close to even previous world record territory. Really good running. 354 there. Let me check on this. Hunter Bell did come back into it, 356. And this now puts me even more. I'm I'm really confident that I think Hunter Bell should just run 800 meters. I mean, I guess you could do both, but because this it's gonna be tough to get on the medal podium, even though she's a medalist from the Olympics. Let me get back to some comments here. Clip: the defending world champion Daniel Williams wants all the smoke. Hey, Daniel is, you know, elder stateswoman now. The mad ants. You can't. Yeah, she will. Don't mess around. She'll take it from you. But I think you have to be in 12 twos and below to feel confident. She's not quite there right now, but yeah. Asira Abbas says hello to you. Jared 12-2 not medaling at Worlds. Hey, it could happen. You could be right on that, Jared. Yeah, if the women are all running super fast, maybe not, but we'll see. All in the game is saying Hunter Bell won't beat Keely in the 800 after Keely's opener, but can still compete for silver with Dugama. Yeah, that's my point. I was waiting for Hutchinson. Clearly, Hutchinson's the favorite now. If she can drop 154 here, if she stays healthy, no one will beat her in the World Championships. I like what we haven't seen Dugama in a bit, but she is outstanding as well. From a medal perspective, Hunter Bell has a better chance of finding her way in the medal podium than she does in the 800 meters than the 1500. It's going to be brilliant. Paulette, how are you doing? Blessings to you as well. All in the game is saying, let's see what Chibet can do in the 50. Yeah. Well, I guess this was early. I missed all of these comments there. We already saw what happened there. Clip says 1228 will be on the podium. Objectivity says yes. With the hurdles, anyone can win it depending on each hurdle. Isira says that women's 100-meter hurdles was brutal. Congratulations to the winner. But those two women in the outside lanes, 8 and 9, give it to them. I can't remember the last time we had such results from lane 8 and 9. Yeah, maybe all in the game knows off the top of his head. I have to go back and look at that. I'm happy there's 9 lanes in Tokyo, but you feel like you need 12 for the women's 100-meter hurdles. That's how good the feel is. And can you imagine running 12-3 and failing to make a final? It could happen. Ronesta says, remember in Miramar, Masai and Tia finished 1/10 ahead of Akira, who was consistent 12-3 for the season. That was proof the times were legit. Yeah, I think someone mentioned that earlier too. And validation, it can't yeah, it is legit. Ferdinand, indoor 1500 from Goodaf was one of the best I've ever seen. Yeah, this year she was really good. Yeah, Goodaf is back. I think she's back. I actually like this push here. I think it's tactical. I need to talk to the guys at because I can't, they don't really speak to you, but there's a couple people who follow the Ethiopian space, and they could probably say, I feel it's a strategic move from what we saw from last year, and her out front running is pushing herself. I think they're using these Diamond League and circuit runs as training, because when you get to this World Championship, there's no pacemakers, there's no wave light technology, and it comes down to a lot of strategy here, and I think you have to work on that, and that's what's happening. All in the game says Tsegai's pace is suicidal. I thought so too. In the end, she runs 350, as Nikki is pointing out. Ridiculous. Is this Goodaf's main event? Yeah. but she's good at 5,000. She had the 5,000 meter world record a couple of years ago so when Fate broke it, she came back and she broke it at the Diamond League final. Was it Diamond League final in Eugene? It's gone again, obviously, this year. We're in a space where the women's times will continue to improve. Yeah. All in the game. He's also confirming it's Fate. It's good of main event. Her face showed it all. Yeah, she was pushing Grimace. Yeah, Grimace. We haven't seen Sifana San. I think she's not running. She pulled out again from meets, not doing well. She probably have to settle for marathon, but it's gonna be crazy running there. Jared said he almost got the top three right. 100-meter guys on track. We gotta watch that in a second. That's gonna be fabulous. All in the game. Chebet just ran 12-second PB. Her versus Fate in the 5K will be incredible. Yeah, it's mad. It's gonna be mad. Nikki says 100-meter. Let's go. I'll get back to these comments, guys. So many things going on at the moment. I'll get back to that in a second. I want to watch this 100 meters. It's gonna be outrageous. We're looking at Lindsay, Blake, Brommel, Simbini, Thompson, Kung Fu Kenny Bednarak, Lyles, Coleman, and for good measure, they put the Polish athlete. I don't even know how to pronounce this. Duvik. I don't know. Let's see what we get here. What are we thinking is gonna happen? Angela, what's up? How you doing? She just joined. Always good. What did you miss, man? You might miss ridiculous 100-meter hurdles, 110-meter hurdles. You just saw Faith Kipiegan almost breaking the world record in 3,000 meters. Good of Sagai running a 350 with a ridiculous push. I don't even know what to say. There was some stuff yesterday, 2 meters yesterday from Yaroslava in the high jump, which was good to see her back there because she hasn't been having the best of seasons. Yeah. Pole vault going on. Mark, what's going on? Yeah, high competition in the pole vault. Let me just watch this 100 meters and then we come back. What's your money on? My money's on Kishane Thompson. I think he won't lose here. I think it's a statement run for him. Not necessarily a statement, but he's going to be there. I want to see what Lyles does. If Lyles can get in the top 3, I think he's gonna show up in some interesting ways at the World Championship. He hasn't gone sub 10 yet. Oh, it's a clean start there. Good jump step there from Kishane Thompson. He's in the lead. Now lies way behind, right beside Kung Fu Kenny. He's coming back, but Kishane Thompson is going to win this. Thompson wins this in 987, but Lyles was coming, and he did come. 994 Noah Lyles. Coleman ahead of Bednarak, it looks like, based on the results popping up. I have to see it again. Equaling the meet record there for Kishane Thompson. Still not smooth. Thompson there at the end. Let me get the results up. Still not. I want to see replays. Still not smooth for him in the finish, but enough there. But Noah Lyles was motoring, so Lyles is in good. Lyles is moving in the right direction. If you're a Lance Borman, you like what you're seeing. Not quite sure what kind of hairstyle that Noah is rocking, but that's not my business. Excellent start from Kishane. Low motoring, trying to get up there. Lyle's looking good too. Kung Fu, not so good. Is that Courtney Lindsay out there running decent, but just didn't have much in him? Yeah, look at that from Noah Lyles. Yeah, he's still kind of jerking across the line there. He's not comfortable enough. There's work to be done still. Yeah, but good run from Kishane Thompson. Yeah, he was ahead of everybody. Let's see. Yeah, then he's at the end. He's kind of moving from the right of the lane to the left of the lane. Yeah, the relaxation phase needs some work, but yeah, I guess they'll be happy with that. Let me get back to your comments. I think I missed a bunch here. The original BI strong. What's going on? A bunch of Jamaica flags for him there. He's happy with Kishane. John says Kishane first. Nikki says nope, not Noah. LOL. Ferdinand says well done, Thompson. All in the game. Kenny walked down again by Noah. He did get walked down, and also from Kristen Coleman. It seems like Geraldine says I told you. LOL. You were right. Yeah. John says no. Noah motoring for second. He is moving. I think if he works on the first part of the race, he'll be up there. At this moment, you have to think he's not going to give up that 100-meter title easily. Angela says, glad he won, still work in progress. Hope it will come together soon. I think so. I'm hoping that it will. The men's 100 meters is going to be a hot race in Tokyo. I'm trying to get something here. Objective, this says Kishane still pressing. Yeah. 2nd through 6 for USA, Nikki. All in the game. Kishane a little too built, needs to lean out a little. Question mark. I was wondering that myself, but I have to see it again. I do think when they get to the championships, he might be a little bit leaner. Sam Kendricks falling at 6 meters, but good attempt there. That's not a bad jump there. Or vault, rather. Yeah. From Kendricks. All right, let me get back to your comments here. The original BI Strong says Civil winning worlds. Interesting. A lot of people on the Civil thing. Jared said Noah got left. Mina, how are you? Noah is getting there. Don't count him out. He's peaking at the right time. I'm not. I'm actually thinking that if you think about this, Lance has him on the right direction. He's on the 19.6. Now he's gone to sub 10. He's going in the direction that you want him to go. Kimani, I'm impressed with Noah. Yeah? God, you, Kishin, I guess. Yeah, from Paulette. Asira says the men's 100 meter in Tokyo is becoming unpredictable. Interesting point there. Yeah, it's interesting. Corrales here on 6 meters over that easily on the first attempt. Easily. He's gonna jump big today. Wonder if he can go 6:15 today. I don't know. Clip says thought this was going to be faster. What was the wind again? It was like 0.3, 987. Yeah, in a way, you thought it makes up for what you anticipated it could be. But I'm actually fine with the 9.8 there. You want to run fast in 3 weeks. Kenny not meddling in Tokyo. Yeah, I'm actually leaning in that direction for sure. But we'll see. I'm actually there. Mondo no gonna try over 6 meters. He's been sitting for a while. Fresh off of his world record. And 6 meters is like asking him if he knows his left or right foot. All in the game. Kenny is this generation's Frankie Fredericks. to Noah's Michael Johnson. Interesting. Frankie Fredericks, 1992 double silver medalist, 1996 double silver medalist. He has that one world championship title. Yeah, Frankie should have won a lot more. When I was younger, I had some early bets on Frankie. Well, not bets, early predictions, and never quite delivered. But really great. Uh the only way Kenny will beat Noah is when he gets Noah out of his head. Geraldine is saying. It's there. I don't think you're wrong on that now. You're right. Great from Kisha in Tokyo will be amazing from Norby saying this. Jakob Norby. All in the game. Good stuff from Karailas. I like it. 400-meter hurdles on track. Femke Bol is there. She's been running really good this season. She should be favorites for the title. I'm going to go out on a limb and call this right now. Dalila Mohammed is going to be on the podium in Tokyo. I'm just saying she's not here now, but I'm saying it now. I might change my mind, but I'm thinking she's going to be on the podium, and that is amazing if she does it. The original BI Strong says what we got from this race is Kenny can't beat Noah. Good point. Interesting point there. Jared says Kisha and Noah and Oblique clear top 3 for him. The original BI Strong, not even Frankie Shedricks. I say Kenny is more Atta Bolden. I don't want to say anything about Atto. I'm trying to get him on the channel, but he's not responding. Atto, let's see. I think 97 Atto should have won a world championship. Is it 9? Yeah. What? No. Actually, that was the thing. That was the year with Green and that was what? 97 was Civil, right? And Donovan was injured. Was he injured or he was just. Anyway, I'm trying to remember things that I shouldn't remember right now. Clip says, objectively responding to Clip, Kenny not finding a way to lose. He's just not as good. Interesting. Asir, so why is the women's pole vault so weak this era? I don't know if it's weak. I think you're probably thinking. I don't think anybody is close to Isambaeva, and she was generational. Yeah, I have to think more through this. I'm not sure it's fully weak. It's not where we want it to be, but that's interesting. The women's 400 meters on the track. Hurdles are right now. It looks like Femke is above everybody right now. She's on the step of Jasmine Jones. Jones is running decent, but Femke is motoring now. She's ahead of everybody by a lot. This is outrageous hurdling now. At this rate, 32 seconds around the bench, she's gonna run sub 52 for sure. This is gonna be fastest time in the world, probably. I don't know if it will be, but she's moving. She had about a 15-20 meter lead on Jasmine Jones there and the Slovak woman. World leading time 51.92. Wow. Ahead of Zaplatovova. That's outrageous. I gotta see this again, but Femke was way out there. I wasn't even paying attention to the rest. I saw Jasmine Jones in my eyes at one point, but then Emma got into it too. That's outrageous running there. Yeah, she should win easily in the World Championships. Nikki says, hasn't Kenny beaten now in the 200 in the Olympics each time? Interesting point. Interesting point. Tokyo and in last and Paris. All in the game. Want to see Savannah Sutherland can do post NCS. Interesting. Yeah. She was resting a bit for a while, right? She had a good NCA run this year. Yeah, she could be there. Jared, who do you have winning 100 at Luzon? I haven't even thought about it yet. Nikki says, I think Mohammed could medal. All in the game says, currently got Femke Dalila Savannah as the podium. Yeah, I forgot about Savannah, and I shouldn't do that because she was really good shape this year. I think she could do it if she handles the runs the right way. I don't know what Anna Cockrell will show. What Anna Cockrell will get at the World Championships? That would be my question there. But Sutherland in great shape from at least a few months ago. What was it? 52.4? Yeah. So that gets you there. That gets you there too. Makes sense. Yeah. Curtis Marshall trying to go over 6 meters there, but not good enough. He probably needed a stiffer pole. Or maybe that's the stiffest one he has. Yeah. Back to some comments. Geraldine says, I hope Mohammed gets a medal. Any medal she deserves it for her ending. I like it. I like that sentiment. I know we don't give out medals, you have to earn them, but it would be lovely to see her walk away that way. I really wonder when it's all said and done, if when she started this season, she actually believed she would be able to make the US team. And now, a month now, just a little bit shy of 4 weeks away from the World Championships, we are thinking about her ability to get on the podium. I'm not quite sure how, no matter how confident you are, I don't know if that's something she would really believe. Maybe she put it down, marked it, it's a goal, aspirational stuff. But do you really believe it? And now it's there. You have to believe she'll make the podium. She is improving all in the game. And Savannah, yeah. I don't know what to say here. Initially, Savannah had what 40 was what 52.4 in when was the NCAA finals? In May, right? Now 55.13. They did take a break, but this is way out there. So there's some work to be done there. I didn't even realize she was in the race. I did not even realize she was in the race. Eric says Kishane has lost form and they still can't beat him. They won't beat Kishane again for the season. Karilas is going to try 6'10". Interesting point, Eric. I think they pulled him back. And I think by the time you get to the World Championships, that's the thing, Stephen Francis, they try to peak the athletes right there. I'm not saying other people won't be peaking for the World Championships. That's going to happen. But there's always a part in the season where he brings them out of it. Now, the speed is there. I think the execution is the issue. And he just has to execute the right way. I think he's quicker than the rest. Executes the right way, he should be fine. Ferdinand said, well done, Femke. Meet record world lead. Eric says, Lie's not winning the 100 at Worlds. It's clear. Nikki, yeah, you can't leave Anna out of that possibility. She agrees. All in the game. Yeah, Anna in the mix for the medal. I think Anna will show up well. She's been having some interesting niggles here and there, but she will come to the championships. I never thought she would have beaten Femke last year. I don't think anyone did. If they did, then they're probably part of the family. Outside of that, yeah. So what she did was amazing. Let me look at Corrales here attempting 6'10 first time. Oh no, he hits it. He went straight into it. No, not enough height. And also you got to think you're tired at this moment too. The original BI Strong says Civil is winning worlds. He's there for that. Noah is a top 3 fastest closer. Rory says Kishane is obviously favorites, but you can't sleep on Laz. Agreed. Geraldine, I don't think Kishane will run again before the Worlds. And Jared is asking Geraldine to predict. You predict what? Pull out from Lausanne. Okay. I see her. Diego there moving again. The big Kenyan here and the javelin. I need to get some updates on the field events. Uh, the World Championship should be held in late July / early August. World Athletics should stop fixing World Championships in September. Well, that's something you probably have to send a message to them about, and you have to get the council to change on this because they're looking to that moving forward. Next year, the Ultimate Championships is in September as well. So they really want to close out the season on their terms, in the sense that a final kind of World Championship meet, I guess, outside of the Olympics. 6'10. Oh, Mondo knocked it off. I thought he was gonna clear it. It looked like he was clearing it. And then Mondo didn't clear. Let's see. Mondo went over it. How did he hit it off? Oh, just a little, maybe brushed it with his near the hip region. Let's see. Oh, he hit it off with the ribs. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, it's the arm. You're right. Yeah. Arms there. He's a big baby. uh, his arms. Marvin says, "I just hope Russia could magically make the podium." Hey, Marvin, I don't know. That wouldn't. I think low 52s can make the podium. She has to go low 52s. I think Femke will run low 51s, possibly. Yeah. Whoa, what is El Bakali doing in the 1500? I missed this. Josh Howie's there. Look at Josh Howie, man, not making a US team. How crazy is that? How crazy is that? When he started the season in a 142. US 800 meters seen a glory years of a great generation of athletes coming through. Yard for the win. Nagoose has to win Diamond League final to even make the team. This is outrageous. Mark says Savannah way off, Femke second, Dalila third, Anna for Tokyo. Okay. Asir, obliques look sharper than any of the male sprinters now. Well, we haven't seen him for a couple weeks too, but I get where you are. The original was saying exactly to something. All in the game. El Bakali doing the 1500 speed work for the 3000 steeplechase. Now, it is interesting. You have to think at some point they will beat El Bakali, but it hasn't happened. He's the best tactician over that. But let's see what we have. But it makes sense for him to do this kind of work as a training mechanism. Lemaitre Gurma is really the one who has a lot of questions to answer. El Bakali is gone down as winning so much. I think they're trying to tell the pacer to slow down. Yeah, I think one of the pacers was like, slow down there. Marvin says, but Nagus didn't make it either. That's even crazier. Yeah. Nagus has to win the Diamond League final to make the team. And it's outrageous. Who I feel bad for is Joey Kovacs from the US National Championships. He was out there leading with the 22 stuff. He was going to make it, and he's out of the team, and he can't go to the World Championships because Ryan Krause has the bye. Unless Krause decides not to go, and then maybe if Kovacs could win the Diamond League final, which I'm not sure he can, then that's the only way for him. But let's see what Corrales can do on second attempt. Hits it again. I don't think he's clearing 610 today. Geraldine is asking, I question that 975 he ran in Jamaica, like I questioned that time from Floja. I don't know if it's the same though, Geraldine. The Flojo thing is different. Like, that was a hurricane out there, right? Why are you questioning the 975 in Jamaica? You got to explain that more. I don't think it's comparable. You could question things, but I don't know if it's not comparable to the 100 in Indianapolis in '88. I think that's a different thing. That's a malfunction from the speed, the wind gauge rather, and it was a hurricane out there, and the triple jump, the field events was going on at the same time, and you could see the difference there. Yeah. I'll get back to the comments in a second. Let me just watch the ending of this race here. Josh Howie moving. Nagus is still in the lead, it looks like. Nordash there. Howie. And I don't know who else is right there. Goose is going to win this, I think, unless they run him down. Josh Howie is making a move, but he's not. He's getting run down. A bunch of Kenyan guys moving into, but Yard Nagus wins this ahead of, looks like Chariot comes in second. One of the Chariot guys, it looks like it's Timothy ahead of Renault. But where's Nordis? He was in the race. Maybe Nordis for third. The Goose had to win that, so he's got 7 points there. Mondo over 610. Easy. Second time clearance there. And put that result up there. How are you finishing down in fifth there? 333.90. Not bad. That's pretty good running. And yeah. Let me get back to some comments that I missed here. Tomorrow it's Price and Sean and Weber in the Nakak 400 final. Ferdinand is pointing out. But is there streams for this Nakak thing that I'm missing? I haven't been seeing anything. Anybody has a stream or a link? I don't know. Who's carrying it? Because I haven't seen anything. The original BI Strong says, I don't know what happened to Kishane's form because at the moment he's winning off all power and speed, so the times are slower. Yeah, he's not running the way he should. Everybody knows Francis is a stickler for technique, so hopefully they can work it. I think if you get it right, he should be fine. But yeah, he's just like hard. It's almost like you get the guy that's faster than the rest, and even if he's not running well, he's pushing and he's winning. Negus is falling behind because he needs to drop to the 800. That's what you. I don't think he's quick enough over 800. No, I think if he's falling behind, then he has to go up, not the other way. I don't think, Gerald. Uh, Long time no see since Eugene, Oregon. Good to have you back on. Good to have you back on. We've been here, yeah. Lots to catch up on. Objectivity. He's questioning the 975. Jamaicans question the time in Eugene. Okay. Because I don't understand the logic of that there, to be honest with you. Kishane never runs close to anything near that time when he's on the road. Okay, but what did he run in the Olympic final? I think they delivered fast, right? Last year was his first major season as a professional athlete, and so what he ran last year, like 9.7, and then he comes back this year. I think the progression is fine. I'm not seeing anything that would cause significant concerns. I think the biggest issue with him is, can he relax well? Can he maintain? If he executes well, if he relaxes the right way, he'll slow down slower. Not almost there for Corrales. He went over it, but couldn't get his body out of his way. So he's done at 6 meters, but good attempt at 6'10". Yeah, he's not doing anything. Back to Kishane Thompson. That would suggest that, yeah, we have to kind of investigate. Yeah. And trust me, they would be investigating. All in the game, Negus absolutely needed to win that to qualify for the Diamond League final. He did. And now he's there. Well done, Negus from Ferdinand. John says 6'10" for Mondo. He did clear it. Really looking good. I feel bad for Corrales not getting that 6'10". I think he can do it. He had to clear. He had a height on that one, but he just didn't get his body out of it. Couldn't get his body out of the way. Let's see. Yeah. It's coming for him. Marvin says, but some big names always get left out of the US teams. Some big surprises every year. That's what makes it even more exciting. Yeah, it happens at US championships really tough. You get some of that from time to time. Yeah. And especially the way the US selects the teams, you have to finish in the top 3. And that's it. Volt says, Noah is not in prime condition, so I don't think it's close at global championships. It will be a debate. Yeah, Noah's working down. We'll see what we get from him. Not sure what to make of that. Objectively, but for the record, with the exception of Kishane, all of Jamaica's top athletes has their PBs and world records outside of Jamaica. Yeah. Except Jamaicans run the fastest times in and out of Jamaica, while Americans PB usually only. You guys are on the. You guys are joking out there, giving trouble. The men's 400-meter hurdles is going to be fire. It's going to be interesting at the World Championships for sure. I still think the medals go where you expect them to go, and it's going to be between Rai Benjamin, who might be starting slight favorites for me, ahead of Dos Santos, and then Varham. But good competition will be here for the men's 400 meters too. So 200 meters for women coming up. This is going to be interesting. It has to be a statement run from Sharika Jackson for me. Otherwise, we're going to have issues with thinking about what she can do. Has Prandini there. Favor Feely. I guess she's not at the World Championships because she declared that she wants to leave Nigeria, right? That's true. Brittany Brown, Amy Hunt. I think Hunt could win this. Best 2 from the Spaniard is also improving well. It's going to be a good race. Let's see what we get. Let me get some more comments before we reach. Objectivity saying responding to original BI strong would like teach them. It's interesting. A runner may never equal their best time, but they will be close over their early career. Kishane is running a low 9.8 and winning. Original, she has no clue what I guess they don't agree with you, Geraldine. What does she think Kishane ran in the Olympics? Okay. uh Nakak results link. Oh, you have a link for it. I guess it doesn't come through. I think we don't. I think the system blocks the link. So maybe send it to the my the channel email. Alan Jackson says yes. I think 979 Kishane running the final. Yeah. So I'm not sure. Kishane got silver with almost a PD, the identical time as Noah's personal best. All right. Let me watch this 200-meter race, and I'll get back to you guys in a second here. I need to see. I need to see Jackson running something. I need a 22 low, or I want a sub 22. That's a good start here. Jackson got up a little bit, popped up too early for me, but she's motoring. She looks like she's running a decent curve, a similar Sherika Jackson. But Daryl Nita is coming off first, then Sherika Jackson. Can she motor away? Jax is moving. Brown is coming, but Sherika is going to barely take this. Brown was right behind her. Interesting. 22-17 into a slight headwind. I want to see a replay here. Well, it's getting better, 22-17. Still not good enough to make me feel like there's a podium run here. But it's improvement. There's still no leg lift there. Let me get that on the screen. Let me see this. Curve running, not the best, and Jackson's a better curve runner than this. Nita came off the bend first. Sherika was swimming there. Looks like her eyes are shut too. Brown was fighting. Amy Hunt coming. She had to dip. Favor Ophelia also hunting there. But Sherika wins. I think she probably can do sub 22 by the time we get to the World Championships. But if you're running rounds of 100 meters too, it could be interesting. Could be intriguing. What you guys think? Let me get to these comments here. There's so many comments here. I appreciate it, guys. You know how it works. Let me see if I can get back to some of them and catch up really quickly. Where did I leave off? Lamar said the commentator said Kishan got in late last night due to delayed flight, so still come out. So to still come out and win the race is in relative ease is very impressive. Oh, that's good because I watch it on mute, so I don't know what's going on. Oh, so his flight got delayed. Okay, that's interesting. Good point. Beerback says I can't see the big deal. The man run 987, which is another subtip collection. Yeah, I think it's fine. I mean, yeah. Geraldine, take Shakari and Shelly, Sharika, Elaine, and all the great runners in their prime. They set records, but they didn't fall flat early on. I don't know if I understand. I'm not 100. I think I'm following you, but I'm not. I don't think. I think Kishane is fine. He's been running well all season. Yeah. Hunt Afile Nita for 200 from Ferdinand. There, everybody, even Brian Level just ran his fastest 200 meters and 100 out of Jamaica from Allen. We're having all these fights on the where people run. It's fine. Kenny's Kenny Bednarek's PBs in Eugene. What does that does what he does away from the States? Bareback. People give Kishane grading scheme from everybody else. It seems like that. Daniel Jr. says, after the women's 400 results, do you think Sid is closer to Paulina Nasa now? I think Sid is there. I think she's there. I still think Paulina will win. I think she'll show up at the championships in a very low 48. It could be a situation where 48 flat comes out of some place. I don't know how to call. I'm not surprised. I would not be surprised if Sidney McLaughlin wins the 400 meters. I still think there's a different way of running the rounds than say the 400-meter hurdles, but she's very experienced. She's quick. It may come down to a tactical race. NASA is going to fly out because everybody knows that you want a big lead on Paulina. Otherwise, she's going to run you down. Point today, I think NASA tried to go out hard and see if Paulina could catch her, and she did catch her. So those are some interesting questions that you have to answer. I think Sid will go out as well. McLaughlin will run out hard. I go back to the U.S. National Championships and she won it comfortably. But if you look at the last 15 meters, there's a visible struggle there. She's trying to hold form. She does it very well. There's no question she was after the Sania Richards-Ross national record. She's motoring down. I think she'll be in good form. I still go with Paulina, but I wouldn't be surprised if Sidney McLaughlin wins. That's how I would think about it. Shakara is not that far off based on her times over, I guess, the career. Okay. Sonia says, Bareback, it's fine if you don't see the big deal in Kishane's win. The commentator said he came in last night. Geraldine says, just typing because. All right. Be nice, though, guys. Be nice. Thanks, Darren. I got your email. It came in. I got your email, Darren. Appreciate it. I'll watch the stuff later. Really appreciate that, Darren. Jared said, who do you think is the second best closer all time in the 100 meters? I don't think people close in the 100 meters. I think it's an optical illusion. So I don't know how to make sense of that, right? Yeah. Nikki says, I'm curious what Jakob will do in the 15. I don't know if he'd even show up because he just pulled out again and he's having some injuries. I am not quite sure Ingebrigtsen will be at his best in the 1500. He's having a tough season. And he did a video the other day explaining why they are continuing to wait. So I'm not sure. If I'm Ingebrigtsen, I would say try for the 5,000 meters. It's less pressure if he can actually make it to the championships. But I'm sure if he can come, he'll try to do his best. Yeah. Nikki says Jackson okay now. She looks better. It's still not the Jackson that we want. I would love to see her work go faster. I think she has to come off the curve ahead of everybody. That's the Sharika we know. But am I less concerned than I was before she ran this? The answer to that is yes. I'm still concerned about where she can get to by the time we get to the World Championships. I'm not seeing the podium yet. If she came here and she ran 21.9, then I would say, yeah, podium. If she ran 21.8, I would be like, okay, maybe she could try to win it all, but it's still Julian Alfred for me. And Jefferson, you can't count out. I would put Gabby there as well, except she's having some niggles with the hamstring. They had to kind of fidget around with the training. If she gets back healthy, then she'll be fine. All in the game. It wasn't comfortable in the last 50 meters. Had to work for it. I agree. Ferdinand says, "Well done, Sharika." Nah, Bareback says, "Nah, Jacko gotta do better." Objective to who do you have going 1, 2, 3 in the 200? What? In at Worlds, if I had to go at Worlds, it would be right now. I would say it would be Julian, Melissa, and probably Gabby Thomas if she's healthy. I think Amy Hunt will come to the championships in good form too. That would be interesting. Dina started to run better, but I don't know if she'll get on the podium. I think there's a lot of people that you could just kind of motor in the mix there, uh, including Sharika Jackson. We'll see. All in the game. Juju won't be worried about that from Sharika. I don't think she would. Uh, give me some 21 nines. That's what Beerbuck wants. Yeah, she definitely has a fight coming up at Worlds. Angela says improvement, but a whole lot of work to be done until Worlds. Yeah, lots of work. The curve gotta come off the curve faster too, and there's not much there right now. I don't know what we see. This 400-meter hurdle should be good. There's Nathaniel. There's Samba, who has a sub 47 to Varham Bassett there. Rashawn Clark, lots of talent there. He hopefully in the next few years can start getting into the sub 47s. Robinson there too. So we watch that in a second. Let me get back to some more comments too. Jackson has had a long career, so it goes sometimes. If we are being honest, it's over. The original BI Strong thinks it's done for her. It could be, but I'm not. I don't think it's at that point yet. I'll give it a little bit more time. Paulette says, "Leave Kishane and his PB. You will get a headache soon." All in the game. GB 4x1. Amy, Dina, Amy, Success, Daryl with great handoffs could sneak that goal in Tokyo. I think so too. I think they go in. At first, I thought they would go in favorites. No, you have to say the US goes in favorite. But with proper execution, they could win it all. They're on the podium for me. I think the medals go down to USA, them. If the Jamaicans can get their act together, they'll be on a podium too. All right, let me watch this 100-meter hurdles, 400-meter hurdles rather, and let's see what we get here. Varham took a little bit of break for a while, and let's see what he shows up with. Varham is already eating up this track. What is he doing? He's got way out there. Nathaniel also running good too. Is that Samba? But Varham is ahead of everybody by about 5 meters already. If we watch to the hurdle. Samba is coming back into it, but Varham now is just a 2-3 meter lead. He's pushing. Oh, this is going to be quick. Nathaniel also running hard. Clark out of it now. But Varham motoring. This is going to be very fast. 46.2. 46.28 for Varham. That's the fastest time in the world. Maybe I may have to take back my comments. I thought it was like Benjamin, then DeSantis, then Varham, but it might be Varham. 46.28. Is he trying to say he wants to get back down to that low 46? That is madness. Look at that. National record for Nathaniel Ezekiel there, 47.30-31. That is that's outstanding running. It's funny we're looking at 47.3s and thinking it's like, oh, par for the course, but it's not. 46.28. It is special. Special. Clark there at 48.81. I'm not sure what's happening there. Samba also running really good, 47.34. He's back into good shape this season. Interesting. I'll get back to the comments. If I miss a few, I apologize, guys. You know how it goes. Dina says just come in. Who? Ah, you just got in. Who won 100? Who came? Yeah. Uh, Thompson won 100 with. I'm just looking at Varm over the last 100 meters here because it's important to see how his form is because he usually fades here when he goes out hard, and he did not fade. He looked like he was pushing all the way. This is a different Varham. Back to that, Dina. It was Kishan 987, I believe, 990 for Noah Lyles, and was it Coleman? Oh, he almost got it. I thought he was gonna clear that Mondo Duplantis there, but he fails at 620 on 3 attempts. Fresh off of his world record earlier this week, but that was a good run. Winning clearance 610 for Mondo Duplantis. Let's get back to this. Bareback says Eugene track is tainted. Alan says Paulina and Nasa ahead of Sydney for me. Bareback 4 by all in the that 4x1 going to Jamaica. Bareback is responding to all in the game. I'm not quite sure. All in the game says Paulina not only has a 48-1 in her, like we saw last year, but she's absolute fighter, which I really admire. No, she's big time, big time. She's not. She'll never give up. It would be cool if we could get a 47.99. I don't know if we will, but that would be interesting. A sub 48 would be special territory. Renesta's asking why is the track tainted. I'm not quite sure it's tainted. I think the conditions are great there. Plus, athletes usually when they go up to Eugene are running national championships for the NCAs or they're running for the USA stuff. So you expect great times there. All right. What is this now? Let's see. I missed this. Like, they grade Kishon Thompson based on Jay's recent past. Many Jamaicans started talking world record when he ran 9.7, which is ridiculous. Yeah, I think people easily see someone run a 9.79 or a 9.7. Like 9.75 to the world record is miles away. I and I think most of you on the channel know this, but just for clarity, that's like 2 meters. So you're not in the picture. So to say the moment that you run that, you can then just immediately get into that type of territory. It makes no sense. I'm not saying you can't run fast or run 9.6, but we should keep that world record stuff out of the conversation. I know why we do it because you think it's cool and nice, but first try to get to 9.6, right? It would. Yeah. All in the game is asking what Bareback has seen to suggest that's possible, and I think that's in response to the 4x1. I can't see the Jamaica women winning the 4x1 at all either. All right, we got to be serious with what we're saying sometimes. It's a 389. Come on. Who wins 5K championships race 2024? Jakob or this season? Inga Britson is not running. He's been injured a lot. I can't reasonably have him winning anything until I've seen some competition that would suggest he's there. Healy Hutchinson showed up today. All season, she has not been on the track. I have no idea. She comes, she drops a 154 today. She's my favorite. It suggests she's in good shape. No one's beating her as long as she's healthy. I feel comfortable saying that. Jakob has to come out and do something before I can make any predictions there. Okay, Shirley, I get what you're saying. I agree. Why I said Jackson's going to have a fight at Worlds. Nikki says that Jakob will show up like Keely and surprise us all with a blistering time. Yeah, when he does, Ferdinand, and I don't disagree. If and when he does that, then we can start thinking about his position. Still, even if he shows up in a ridiculous time in the 15, he suffered from tactical issues. He's lost all the major championships last year. He didn't even get on a podium. Budapest and Eugene, because he was outclassed by athletes who had a who outfoxed him. They're probably not better than him, but they outfoxed him. So I wouldn't even put Jakob in the mix to win the 1500 meters, even if he comes in the best shape. That's how I'm thinking about it. I know there's so many comments that I haven't gotten to. uh, Beerback says Sharika can get bronze. Excuse me. 100-meter finals coming up. We'll get to all these comments, guys. You know me, I'm never leaving you guys out because this is what makes things happen. If you haven't liked the video, maybe you could do me a favor and do that. Marvin says, don't sleep on Battle, Anavia Battle. She looks in better shape than Gabby and Sharika right now. No, Battle has been having a great season. She started the Diamond League well. I think she was tactical about it, thinking that if you don't make the US team, she could try to win a Diamond League final. She's good. Seriously, the women's 100-meter might be an anticlimax in Tokyo. Oh, you mean anticlimactic? Okay, sorry. You got to say more why that might be the case. Common Sense 1959 says Coach Francis made a mistake in not letting Sharika run any race in July. Interesting point. I mean, she will make the finals. The original BI is strong. All right, let me watch this 100 meters and then we can talk some more. Tina Clayton there. Tina Clayton on screen right now. So we're looking at Sears, who came on really well. Lucken Kempta, Asha Smith, Talu Smith, Saboda, who won in midweek. Not Saboda, Talu Smith, who won in midweek, rather. Shakara Richardson there. And let's see. I think who's in the race? Is this Tia Clayton? It's not Tina, right? It's Tia, right? I haven't seen Saboda much this season either. It's a really clean style. Oh, look at Jefferson. She's gone there. Oh, it's both Clayton twins there. Look at that move there from Jefferson. She's motoring away, but one of the Claytons are coming. Ooh, 10.66. Easy as you like for Jefferson Wooden. Tia Clayton there in 10.82. Talu 10.87. 10.91 for Tina. Whew. I mean, every week we see Jefferson Wooden. The truth is, I mean, she has to start favorites, even though I still feel like Juju could do it. But look at that. The execution from Jefferson Wooden is just amazing there. Good run out there from Clayton too. Asha Smith looked okay, good, okay early, but then got run out. Sears not running as well as I thought. But look how she's bouncing. Look at the legs, like she's the stride pattern too. Maybe a little bit at the end there, the arms going up too high, but outside of that, that's some big time running there from Jefferson. The woman from Georgetown, South Carolina. You know, I have a little special love for South Carolina, even though I don't. Well, anyway, look at that. That's fantastic running too there from Clayton. Personal best for her, 1082. She's back. Let me get back to the comments, guys. Sorry, I was just like trying to make sense. I'm gonna come from the bottom and come up now because I've missed out so many. The objectivity, this is MJW's year. Yeah, it has to be. Julian contesting the Diamond League finals. So will Tia make it? I don't know. Good question. Probably not if Julian is in the race. First, what is this? John says first up for 7 weeks and she cranks 1082. Yeah, that's really good running there. I like. You have to like the Jamaica relay pool again. Interesting. Bareback says congratulations to the twins. Jefferson's on a different sphere. She is. The original BI strong. I can't believe we are leaving Tia at home in 100 meters. It's actually disturbing. You know, it happens that way. You know, when you have your championships, stuff happens. I think she would have been on the team if she didn't got injured, I guess. All in the game, Shakari could not make the final in Tokyo. At this rate, I agree with you. All in the game, she's not making it. She's 11:05, although it's a season best for her, trending down, but she'll have a hard time. Jared Brown says Melly says that 2022 Shelly form. Yeah, good comparison there. Paulette, tell the Americans to test minutes. Come on. Shakari, a consistent 6, the original BI strong. Objectivity, Tia can win the Diamond League. She can. It just depends on who's in the race. Jefferson start is crazy, the original BI strong says. John says Tia is back with a bunch of A's there. Objectivity, Tia is back. All in the game, 1066. Jesus. No, I mean, she's making this look easy, guys. Easy. Really, really easy. Objectively, she has to start favorites. I can't come with anything else. She has to start favorites. I still have to do my prediction, and I probably still will land on Julian Alfred. That's just, I don't know, but MJW is soaring. Nikki said Melissa with a bunch of exclamation. The original BI strong had T at 1082. Bareback can't wait to see what level has in store. Marvin says I can't see them winning the 4x1 women either, but not having them for a medal is crazy. The once that baton gets around safe, even bronze should be foregone conclusion. Don't get out on Spain train. Yeah, I think it's the US, it's Team GB. Now with the talent wise moving around here, the Jamaicans should be in the mix too. With good execution, I would like. I have to like that. I may have missed some stuff here with comments. Oh, all in the game says, yeah. Rise in trouble. Varham never ran sub 46.7 all year last year and just ran 46.2. No, I think so. The reason why I paused a little bit and I'm glad they slowed down on Varham in the last 40 meters there after her, because one of the things with Varham, as we know, almost like say Grant Holloway in the 110-meter hurdles. They're best of the first 8. And Varham was pushing here. But when you looked at the finish there was a level of him just moving and not looking like he was struggling in the last 100 meters there. And that is the kind of Varham that could give you a 46 flat. And who knows, could he go back to sub 46? He's going back to the land of where he did it in 2021 Tokyo. This is a different Varham. And they stopped running in mid-season. They spent a lot of time, because I saw the interviews, I saw everything, where he was saying that they doing some, basically almost went back to almost like background work training. He looks good. This is a different Varham here. It's only good for the sport. I like it. Did I miss anything else here? Nicky Diat said Varham in trouble. His second fastest time after his world record is crazy. All in the game. Ferdinand said, yes, Varham, Mr. WI. Whoa, world record watching Tokyo, Jared is saying. Bareback said, Rashawn shares his legs. He needs to build his muscle. Yeah. Dina is saying, Unalif because she suffered a bad injury that her camp lied about and gave her time, and she will recover mentally and physically. She still has some time. She's only 31. Yeah, I agree, Dina. We shouldn't write her off. I think she has a lot more in the sport. And hopefully she gets back to her best. We'll see. I think she could go a couple more years. It might be tough to come back for LA given cycles, but we'll see. Where did I miss out here? John say he has Tia at 10-6 watch. So you're saying Tia will be at 10-6 by the time we get to the championships? That's interesting. I'm not seeing that, but yeah. 10-7, possibly 10-6. I don't know. Where are we here? Jefferson has Julian's number. She's scared already. I don't know if she's scared, but she did beat her at Nike Prefontaine, so fair and square. That led to a mad Julian Alfred who went to Monaco and ran a ridiculous time into that headwind. And then she went to London and she dropped that 21-7 into a headwind as well. Scared, I don't know. Making sure that you come to the championships in your best shape, I agree on that. Marvin says Jamaica should make good sense prevail. Use Tia for the relay unless we are not serious about me. What? Down in that relay. Tia is the fastest Jamaican currently, and Jamaica currently can't be silly to leave her off. I don't think they would. I think they get on the pool for sure, because the way the rules, I think the rules allow her to be there. Yeah. Cheryl says in her St. Lucian Times News, maybe you're responding to something that I don't. I'm not sure what that was. Ming the Merciless says USA fist bump, not like us. Interesting. I'm not sure what to make of that. Objectivity is responding to Cheryl. I'm wishing her what? Wishing here, but I hope Juju pull out and concentrate on Worlds. Okay. Objectivity says Tia is 10-6 watch by next year. Sonia says, why do people think Julian is scared? Brian says, from what I've seen today, Lyles will win Worlds and Jefferson has peaked, so Alfred knows what has to be done. You mean, so you think Jefferson's peak? You mean she's not going to run faster than 10-6? I'm not sure. I think. I mean, she's in the 10-6 shape. I think she still could run faster if necessary. I don't know about that part, to be honest with you, Brian. Maybe give me a sense of why you think that. And also, I don't know if I've seen enough from Elias to say he'll win at Worlds. I think he's gonna come to Worlds in great shape. I think that's for sure. I don't know if he'll win yet. I'm not willing to say that yet. Because I believe that Thompson will be faster by the time you get to the championships. I hate to do the oblique thing too, but he's in great shape. He has to just execute well. Objectively says Jamaican women 4x teams has a really good shot at goal. I can't disagree with that. I can't disagree with that. I think they can. It's going to be an execution thing, and execution is always an interesting thing because even at their best, sometimes they never executed. I still go back to even Tokyo 21. They should have broken the world record and they didn't. When you think about the team assembled there, so we'll wait and see. Nikki says, highly doubt Julian is scared. I agree with that. I think she'll be watching. She'll be saying, everyone will be watching. You have to give Melissa a lot of respect. But the Olympic champion would feel comfortable that she can take it all, unless something goes wrong with her preparation by now in the championships. John says Tia is still loading in prep. She looked a bit heavy to the eye, so that time she was cleared to run in 3 weeks ago. Interesting. Geraldine says every runner is afraid when they line up on the track, no matter how good you are. That heart is pumping. I don't know if I'll call it afraid. I think uh, there's like a nervous anxiety, but afraid is like I don't want to line up against you. At least in the interpretation of if that's what we're saying. If we're saying something else, then we have to say it a bit more clearly. Objectivist says Melissa on the USA first leg will be devastating. It will be. It would be ridiculous. You have to thinking. I don't know the lineup. I don't. They'll fidget with the lineup probably. There'll be some political stuff going on too, so it might be all over the place. Yeah. Good question, Marvin. I don't see them getting goal. If so, what's your lineup? Because we definitely missed the chance at the world record in Tokyo, also Beijing 2008, Eugene 2022. I agree. Uh, uh, I don't know what they'll do. They'll probably start with Fraser Price. I mean, it would be neat if they have twins on either backstretch, Sharik on the curve, but then someone's going to talk about who doesn't hand over the baton well. It's going to be all sort of places. I don't know. Denise said, was Shakira in the race? She was. Let me put it back on the screen. That was the result. Richardson finished in, what was this, sixth? So it's Melissa who won in meet, equal in the meet record from the great Shelley and Fraser Price some years ago, 10:66. Tia Clayton there in a personal best time of 10:82. You have to like it. Talu, you really, really have to like this because she's moving in the right direction. She won earlier this week as well. This is 2 races in a week for her in a matter of days, 10:87. And that's the thing about Marie Jose Talu. She's always prepared. She always comes to the championship. You can never count her out. And Tina Clayton there running on 10:91. So 4 women going sub 11. Sears there 11 seconds flat. Richardson running a season best 11:05. Asha Smith 11:07. Saboda, we haven't seen her for a while, running a season best as well. And Gina Lupken Kemka 11:25 didn't really factor. That's the official result there. Ferdinand says, give Julian time to train. She and Melissa can push each other sub 10-6. Some of the stuff we've seen so far would make you feel as if the athletes could go a sub 10-6. Both of those athletes, if the conditions are right. Will they do it? I don't know. You never know, right? A lot of things can happen. But so far, those two athletes have been the standout by far. And Melissa hasn't lost a race all season. And Julian only suffered defeat to her at Prefontaine. But after that, she's been in imperious form as well. So those athletes are going into the championship with a confidence high that many don't have. And then you go to a championship where athletes could surprise. You're not seeing it, but it could happen. But if I'm doing my podium check right now, those two are on it by far. Let me see. Let me miss around here. John says, will Melissa see out the Diamond League? I don't know. There's no need for that. She's raced a lot this season as well. Did a whole thing in the Grand Slam track, which she won't get paid for, but it's one of those things. Stay Curious says, real performance of the day is a tie between Melissa and Keely to me. Interesting. Diamond League has what? Has a bit bias. Melissa / Keely, Varham, Masai, Sigai, Femke. All of those are outstanding performances. Stay Curious. I'm trying to think what's the best. I mean, that 46 there, 2-8 from Varham is way up there. Sagai for sure. She was pushing it, and the way she ran it looked detrimental. I mean, it could be suicidal is the word. I think all in the game had said that too. That was an amazing performance. Hutchinson for me, really outstanding because we haven't seen her all season. Even though Hunter Bell said at the British Championships they've been seeing her in training and she looked really good. But you have to come out and run it. And then Faith almost breaking the world record. That probably is that the best of the day? Probably is the best of the day. Because it was really close. They were setting it up. She could have broken the world record if she started the. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, see, original asking too about Fate. So what about Fate? Yeah, I think that probably is the Fate basically ran the real world record today. Are we gonna go? I hear you. Yeah. Am I missing anything here? Oh, Tanisha said thanks. You're welcome. Yeah, really interesting stuff. I mean, we have to reflect on the Diamond League. Obviously, it's always, take some time to think about some of these performances. But yeah, there's big stuff happening today. Yeah. In track and field coming fast. I don't even know what else to talk about. I mentioned the Diamond League, not the Diamond League, the Grand Slam thing. Hopefully those guys get paid, but I doubt it. The original, it's not my word, it's from World Athletics about. I know. I mean, I no, I'm not. You know me, the original. I'm always out on those things. I just meant that we're gonna, get some heat for this if we start talking about it. But I'm here for it. Nikki says, other than Melissa running anchor, I'm curious to see what USA decides for the lineup. You think they're gonna put her on the anchor? They might though, but she probably should start the relay. I probably put TT Terry on the anchor. They'll eat up the race by then. A fit Gabby Thomas should run, but I don't know. It depends if she's fit. Shakari Richardson might be in the mix too. She's improving, but not running particularly fast. So they may have to tinker. You might. That's an interesting point you're making. They may have to tinker. Sorry, I had to get a couple almonds for snacking. Firewood says Melissa looks good, but my money is on Julian. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I still feel Julian might win it, but Melissa looks really good. We'll see. I'll put myself out there in a few weeks. A couple weeks ago, I said it was over, but that was more probably hype than anything. It's certainly not over. It's between those two for sure. Nikki says she should be your. You always put your fastest on anchor. Yeah, but you don't have to. Sometimes you could put them on the backstretch. Used to eat up that. It depends. I mean, I thought in '08 boat ran the greatest curve, one of the great curves you'll see when Asafa Paul ran the anchor there. Even though that's no longer in the books, but yeah, I get it. It depends. You could, you there are moments where you can mix and match. It doesn't have to be that way. I think you run a lineup that will execute the race in an interesting way. Sometimes you put people under pressure because what the relay does that we sometimes don't think about is how you manage the exchange zones, right? So when you have a really fast team on paper, you can be conservative. You start out by pushing certain teams to the limit. They may have to work the zone in ways that they don't want to work the zone. You know, it depends on the chemistry too. Yeah. Mark says Melissa 100-meter favorite, Juju 200-meter favorite. I get it. All in the game, 4x1, 4x4 finals are all 30 minutes apart. Gabby will have to choose. She's better off trying to break the 4x4 with Sid. That's an interesting thing if you think about if you're looking for accolades on our world record with Sid, Bella, and Aliyah, given her new 49-14. Yeah, it is. That's a good point you're making on in the game. Yeah, she's certainly in the pool for both. The US, they don't lack runners too for the 4x1 or even the 4x4. They should be fine. I would say they would like a faster Richards. So it comes down to that. Yeah, I mean, Kayla. I'm trying to think about how the US will line up on this. Yeah, yeah. It's gonna be. It's like because they have their relay pool stuff, but you have to think White will run, Hobbs will run unless they're injured. TT Terry will get a mix of the running too. Whether she runs in the final, will they take Sears in the pool? I would. Who else is there? Tamara Davis, right? There's Davis. They can make the pool too. And then obviously you have Richardson. And then you kind of figure out whether they need Gabby or not. Yeah, maybe they don't really need Gabby. But she's often in their relay pool. So yeah. Let me get back to some more of your comments here. Marvin says Melissa Walanka, Tamar to TT to Kayla to Melissa. Have they announced that? I haven't followed anything recently. Jerry Lee said, I can see Gabby running second or third leg. Ferdinand says, Ben's one hammer. I didn't even look at the hammer. Let me check on that. Yesterday was some good. The hammer stuff was going. How far did he go? Okay, this is women's hammer. Rogers won. Yes, Rogers won in 75 thing. Let me see what is on the men's hammer. I didn't look at the men's hammer. Oh, he did. It was like 81, 77 ahead of Katzberg 79-30. I honestly I didn't see any of the hammer throws. I saw it going on one of the screens, but I couldn't focus on it, so I have no idea further than. Objectivity says Gabby is easily replaced in the US 4x1. Yeah, I think they have the ability, they have the talent, the ability, so it doesn't really matter for them. Objectivity says, matter of fact, I don't think she does. She doesn't belong on their team. Interesting. John says, do we know for a fact Julian's hamstring is the issue? I don't know anything I can say on the air. Put it that way. Wayne Walker, how you doing? He says Civil will beat these guys come Worlds. You know, trap bro. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, Civil has the ability. It's never the ability for Oblique Civil. It's the execution. So if he can execute well. When was it? Was it last year or the year before? Glenn Mills says he thinks he can run 9.6. We haven't seen that yet. He's quick. He can do something. He has to just run the two greatest races of his life. If he doesn't make the podium, I really don't know how we break that down without some questions that may go into territory that people may not like to interrogate. He should be on the team. He should be on the podium. For the life of me, I think if in a perfect world, I would say the Jamaicans go 1-2. But the world isn't perfect. I missed out a few comments here. If I did, sorry about that. Mark says if US team put fastest 400 meters runners in the mixed 4x4 relay, then Netherlands can again steal gold. Oh, you mean does not? Okay. Yeah. Is Femke running in that? I mean, I guess Femke could run the 4x. She could run the mix for you guys, and it wouldn't be a problem because there's no Sydney McLaughlin over the 400-meter hurdle. So that could be something that she could do. But I imagine Lika wouldn't, right? Clava wouldn't run it, right? Haas says Kishen needs to work on his latter part of his race if he wants to clear Noah, because Noah's top end speed is getting better and better, so he has to execute a perfect race. I guess you also say him and Oblique. Yes, 100% correct. Although he's all over the place in these last few races, but say we get a perfect or as close to perfect execution race from Kishane. Still, the weakest part is the last phase. I think it's a matter of how he relaxes in that part of the race. If he does that, then he'll be fine. I agree. Del Olivieri says, good afternoon, all. Good afternoon to you. TT Terry ain't cutting it right now. 11-3s at Nakak, not very encouraging. Yeah, I haven't seen the race. I saw the results, so that's interesting. Yeah. Wayne says, look at the start. Yeah. Hask also says, Tia did a great race, to be honest. If she wasn't injured, I think she would have gone 10-7 mid. And I want her to get into the Diamond League final. I guess you want her to run herself into the championships. That would be good. That would be a brilliant type of way to get to the world championships in ways that uh, it would be encouraging if she could do that. It depends on how people line up in the Diamond League final, but we'll see. Wayne said that was key. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you're right on the start. Yeah. Haas says besides each other, or besides Juju and I guess you mean Julian and Melissa Jefferson Wooden, it's gonna be deadly. It is gonna be a tough race there. Yeah. The original BI Strong says if he don't make, I guess you're referring here to Oblique Seville. If he doesn't make the podium, it's gonna be rough for him here on. But I got him winning. Yeah, make the podium. By all means, win. But come away from the World Championships with something around your neck. You need a medal. Ferdinand says USA should use Tamari, TT, White, and Melissa on anchor. That would be interesting. So no place for Shakari Richardson. And Dell is responding to Wayne by saying Lausanne will be very telling. I think he's the only person that can upset Kishane. It's always Lausanne is just a lovely. That's a lovely city too. Switzerland on a whole is great. Objectively says one of the things I think Oblique should try is just trying to qualify for the finals. Last year he ran his PB in the semis when he didn't need to do so. Interesting. Yeah, you just need to get into that. Top 3 gets in. It's a 9-lane track. Get into that final. Because the turnaround is, everyone has to face the same turnaround, right? It's not like we're saying it's a problem. It's a problem for athletes who, as they get older, they suffer a bit more because you got to go back to back that quickly. He just needs to get in. The form that he's in and the form you expect him to get to the World Championships in, you're thinking about cruising running. I think he's cruising into the final. Doesn't have to push to get into the final. You would hope. Things could change, but you would hope. So then it leaves you in a position to be delivering your very best in the final. You do that, then you're there. I'll excuse a massive PB and not being on the podium if everybody decides to run something out of this world. But outside of that, he should be getting a medal, and he should be looking to run some of the fastest times ever. Well, for him, right? Yeah. Wayne says Thompson beat USA all in one day. Common Sense 1955 says, I don't think Sharika is going to run the 100 meters at World Championship, so this might give Tia a chance to run the 100. That is not quite how it works, though, right? In that way, that would be a discussion with the Jamaica administration stuff, right? The original BI Strong says Kishane does not need to run a perfect race to win. It just needs to be a little cleaner and no slowing down. I think I agree with that. Wayne says all these guys has flaws. Civil looks like the most technical right now. He's the best shape. He's in the best shape now. Yeah, he looks good. That London run was spectacular, and it came out on the back after running a really good leg in the 100 meters on the backstretch in conditions that most would agree weren't the best for sprinting. Kimani says Kishane for the win. They both have the same amount of time until the World Championships. Yeah. Shamara Small says Tia looked like she was closing on Jefferson just a bit. It's really hard to see that. I'd have to look at it again. I mean, when you run 10-6 and the next person run 10-8, you're not in the same vicinity, to be honest with you. So I'm not I can't, yeah, I'd have to look at it. I don't think so. I think that might be pushing it slightly. Ferdinand says Clava and Vesa helped the 4x1 team to national record and third fastest of the year. Yeah, that would be good too. Vesa has some speed in the legs. There's no doubt about that. Lika can run too. Does she make it into the final of the 400? You would hope, but it's going to be challenging too. There's so much comments coming through still. Let me see. I'll just mix around a few before we get off here. Mark says, yeah, if one of the big guns, USA, Jamaica, or Great Britain, doesn't go well on a 4x1, the Netherlands or Spain could medal. I think so. Spain has really good handovers too. Yeah, those they could be in the mix there. Yeah. What else? Let me see if I missed a few. Stay Curious says Shakar is rolled. What do you mean, like she's done? Uh, Kenny and Noah had the same amount of time today. No tired legs. What's he got to say now? It's a very good question. And as you will recall, Kimani and many, when Kenny said he didn't talk to him when he was fresh, I was like, that's not the way you want to respond in a situation like that. And I don't know what he's gonna say here. He just has to show up. I think who said there was someone on the channel earlier who said Noah is in his head. It's like that. You have to think it's like that, right? I may have missed a few, but I apologize. If Civil executes a race like he did in London and is healthy, I can't see Kishane or Noah beating him in Lausanne or at Worlds. It's a big thought there, Shamar. We'll have to see. Wayne says Melissa ran too hard 1066 before championships. No one do this and deliver at the championships. Remember Shelly Shakari. Except that year when Shelly was running in Eugene, she was running 10-6 all season too. So I don't know. It's I know what you're saying, Wayne. I think you agree. There's sometimes when you pound the legs enough, especially for sprinters, there's only so much you can do. But you have to think there's this kind of preparation of they must be seeing a ceiling of a very low 10-6 pushing into 10-5. Otherwise, they'll miscalculate. And then there's some interesting questions that not her, she doesn't have to answer them. It would be no questions that Dennis would have to answer, right? I don't know, honestly. But she's run a lot this season too, and really fast all season in interesting conditions. You even go back to the Philly race, it was in terrible conditions. It was cold. She ran really fast. So she's been doing the rounds a lot. That doesn't mean it's going to have a negative impact in Tokyo. It can, but it shouldn't, because they're supposed to be planning the season in interesting ways. My suspicion is that they're trying to hold this peak all the way into Tokyo, unlike other coaches where they may bring them back out and get them back into peak. It's just a philosophical difference. Robert says Oblique's last race was London. We don't know what shape he is in. Wayne says Shakari did it at the championship. Melissa over did it. Look out, Melissa. Shelley will be there. That would be that call would be out there, Wayne. I don't know. I mean, Shelley. Yeah, we'll see. I'd love for her to make the final and go out on her own terms, but that's interesting. Objectivity says, I know you don't want negative stuff on your channel, but have you heard about the whispers surrounding Star Athletics? I hear a lot of stuff. I can't talk about that. I don't want to talk about that in this context. At least, yeah. We'll we got to do a membership, and we can do some membership lives. I've been thinking about it, or where we can talk about some stuff that uh we don't necessarily want to talk about in interest in public. Shamar says Tia running a PB today tells me that she could have gone to Nakaka and have a clearer path to the World Championships. Maybe there's something we don't know. Well, wasn't there up? Wasn't there people getting bent out of shape if they were to put her on the team to Nakaka, considering that she didn't complete the national championship, so by right she shouldn't have earned a spot. Wasn't that the complaint? Someone can clarify. Objectivity with a lot to laugh. No, there's some things where, yeah, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. Let me tell you, the insurance it takes to say certain things, I don't have, right? And it's interesting. Common sense 1959. Sharika just needs to sharpen up on the 100 time, and 200 time will improve significantly. Yeah, I think there's an execution thing too. I think she doesn't push off the way, and it could be, and I still go back to this notion of one, where exactly is the health of the athlete, right? If she's healthy, if she's running well in training, is it just now that she doesn't feel like she can execute well because there's a fear that things could go wrong before the championships? Because it could be very much the case that you just don't want to give your best until you get to the championships because you're fearful that you might get an injury or something of the sort. I don't know if that's happening because no one will tell you. They're not going to be that transparent. And until we know what's really happening, you just got to judge by what we're seeing there. And it just seems as if there's a lot more to be done, and the time to do it is not there. Yeah. So I don't know if she can get anywhere close to the shape to be competitive. And by competitive, I mean getting on the podium. Yeah. Objective say, I almost drew you out. Yeah, you're trying to get me in trouble. How does Nakat give her a clear path to World Championship? I think the area winner gets the spot. Also gets a spot. As long as they don't get outranked on world rankings, I believe, something like that. So if she won that, she would have. Whoever wins that can get a spot. That's one of the qualifying ways into the World Championships. Ferdinand says Australia beat us in T20. Yeah, I haven't watched any of the cricket today. The South Africa is playing. It's too bad. I mean, they're a really good team though. Yeah. Oh, the original BI Strong is also on it too. Yeah. Your eyes are not lying to you. The original BI Strong isn't Juju in the class of the. Yeah, let me just help on this too. I think what it might be going. And this is so Nakak is like the regional champs, or like how you'd have the European championships or whatever. If you win that, you can. That's also a path into the World Championships, as long as you're not like way behind on world rankings or something like that. Usually, people don't think about getting that way, but it's a possibility. And as Bi Strong is saying, yeah, Julian is representing St. Lucia. They have 3 spots too, like, right? She's the only one going, obviously. In the context of Jamaica, right? if you win that, you could get into it because there's you can get 4 spots, and we don't have any defending champions. Wayne says we understand the body. I predict Kenny 979 was his peak this year. He will regress, or you mean regress rather for the rest of the season. Now Melissa ran, I guess 1066. You're saying I bet our coach will tell her too much on. What? Will tell her too much on the gas. Okay, I get. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Shamar says Rashawn Tapper and Nugent, not what I was expecting. What card is Nugent playing? I don't know what happened to Akira, to be honest with you. Yeah, today Megan didn't look at her best, but she's been running fairly well these last few weeks. I have to look at the race again because I didn't see exactly if she hit stuff or how what the execution looked like, to be honest with you. Uh, but it's competitive, right? So we know Megan is in the 12.3s this year. We know Akira could go 12.2s and probably run faster. She has that high of a ceiling. But it's just so tough out there. And they ran 2 races today, right? It was a heats and semi. So it was interesting how all of that happened. Really, really good stuff happening out there in. Let's just look at it again from a overall standpoint just to see how competitive the landscape is, right? Look at that. This was the first heat this morning. Akira running 12:34, Daniel running 12:43, then Marshall running 12:47. Toby ran at 12:48 in the heats, right? And Aaliyah Armstrong ran 12:50. Those are the times, and both of them, Toby and Aaliyah, got in on the small queues, right? That was heat number 1. Then you get to heat number 2, Vessa running a national record of 12:28. She was looking good in the final, but she was hitting all over. Masai ran 12:36, Megan ran 12:41, and then Kenny ran 12:55 to qualify. So Christina didn't even get in at 12:57, nor neither did Devon, and so on. Then you get, that's some top class running, right? Then to get to the final now, you kind of look at what was happening there. Sorry for being messy with all the standings there. And then Masai then going to run 12:19, 12:24 from Tania Marshall. Look how much quicker she's running. Toby running 12, what was it, 12:4? Coming back to run 12:25. Daniel running a personal best of 12:31 at her age. Look at Aliyah running 12:32, Kenny 12:41. Those are fabulous times. Even when you look at Akira not running well, so we're saying she's not running well, but she runs 12:43. It's saying something. And then Vessa hit a lot. Topper running 12:66. None of these times are outrageously slow or anything like that. It's just the landscape has changed tremendously. So yeah. Wayne says hurdles is a technical event. It is. You make a mistake, it's tough. And the mistakes are harder to recover from in an era where so many people are competitive. Yeah. You don't have to be the number 1 rank, just ranked in the point system. It even says that they don't need a standard. Yeah. Oh, you meant, yeah, I think you're still on the qualifying thing. What is this? 979 in Eugene with the aid of a 1.8 win. I did a conversion. It's like 999. Yeah. All right, cool. This was a good day to watch some track and field. We saw a lot of top class stuff. I'm gonna call it, guys. It's 12:45 my time. I'm probably gonna watch some football or get some lunch, do some other stuff. I'll be back soon. I'm working on a few things. We'll hopefully have another joint live soon next week. We'll see what we get there. I'll be back as usual. I thank you for your support and thank you for being in the space. It's not always easy to do a watch along where I'm not showing on screen. I know a lot of people want to see things on the screen, but this is a community. A lot of time you want to talk about track and people aren't there, so we'll see. Yeah. And people talking about jet lag. Rocky, I'm not sure if I saw you commenting early, but thanks for being on the channel. And Shamar says, heard anything about Christela at Nakak? I haven't heard anything. Darren sent me a link. I haven't looked at it yet. Let me look at what's going on here. It's the results, but I'm not seeing. I thought this was a link for the videos. Is there a video for Nakak, to be honest with you? I think the decathlon is going on right now. But we'll see. All right, guys. I'm going to call it. I'll see you guys later. Hopefully, you have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk soon. Yeah. Bye-bye.